Bruce Pearl's legacy. How he revitalized Auburn basketball's NBA pipeline. Auburn men's basketball has entered a new era. Bruce Pearl, who has led an unprecedented surge in the program's national relevance, is retiring as head coach after 11 seasons. His departure caps off what many consider the most transformative period in Auburn basketball history, especially when it comes to producing NBA-level talent and raising the program's profile. Here's how Pearl reshaped Auburn's NBA presence and what it means moving forward. Turning Auburn into a launchpad for NBA prospects. Recruiting and development of high-level talent. Under Pearl, Auburn began attracting top-tier recruits and transfers who went on to play in the NBA. For example, Jabari Smith Jr. was drafted 3rd overall in the 2022 NBA Draft, the highest draft position ever for an Auburn player. Walker Kessler also made first-round selection in 2022, further proving Auburn could develop players into elite prospects. Consistent national relevance. Pearl led Auburn to multiple NCAA Tournament appearances, 6 in his 11 seasons, including 2 Final Four runs, 2019 and 2025. These deep tournament runs amplify exposure, which helps in recruiting and giving players national visibility, a booster for those aiming for the NBA. Best season ever and #1 seed recognition. In the 2024-25 season, Auburn not only posted a program record 32 wins, they also claimed the SEC regular season championship, secured the overall #1 seed in the NCAA Tournament, and were ranked #1 for several weeks. The team's success that season pushed Auburn into conversations about being among the top basketball schools, both in terms of coaching prestige and player NBA prospects. Elevated recruiting footprint and transfer portal usage. Pearl and his staff were active in recruiting both high school standouts and transfers. The portal era gave Auburn opportunities to bring in impact players who were NBA potential or had already begun making marks elsewhere. He also improved Auburn's rankings in metrics used by scouts, like RPI/net, which correlate with strength of schedule, wins, and player exposure. Auburn's net/RPI leapt under his tenure. Institutional and cultural investments. Pearl didn't just recruit talent. He focused on infrastructure, community, academic success, and building home court advantage, Neville Arena, the Jungle student section, etc. These kinds of elements help create environments where players can grow, be seen, and be tested, all important for projecting into the NBA. What the retirement means and what's next. Leadership transition. Pearl is stepping down and will assume an ambassadorial role in Auburn athletics, while his son Stephen Pearl, who has been associate head coach, will take over the program. Roster and retention. Because of the coaching change, NCAA rules allow a 30-day transfer window. Some players may explore that, but Auburn still returns pieces and adds talent via transfer for the next season. Maintaining momentum. Stephen Pearl inherits a program at one of its highest points. The challenge will be to sustain recruiting success, NBA pathways, and national recognition. Auburn's recent history gives him credibility, but expectations will be high. Why his impact on NBA presence is notable. Auburn historically was not known as a blue blood or NBA talent factory. Before Pearl, the program had produced some NBA players, but not at the consistency or high profile seen in recent years. The leaps in national rankings, NCAA tournament successes, and producing lottery/drafted players give Auburn credibility in scouting circles, which tends to feed back positively in recruiting and allowing players to get the exposure they need. Final thoughts. Bruce Pearl's tenure at Auburn will likely be remembered as transformative, not just for wins and championships, but for broadening Auburn's path to the NBA. The program's visibility, the development of pro talent, and the national respect it earned make his retirement a big moment. As Stephen Pearl steps in, the legacy is strong, but sustaining it will depend on whether Auburn can keep converting high-potential players into NBA-caliber ones and maintain the structures that made that possible.